Woosah. What's going on, Jerome? So, emergency press conference time because we have to figure out what the F is going on and what the F we are going to do. First off, I may have to burn this shirt because the shirt is pretty damn sexy, pretty damn awesome, but the Vikings are 0-3 since I got this shirt. I've also had 2 losing poker sessions while wearing the shirt, so we may have to burn it. We may have to burn this mofo, but the Vikings allegedly 0-3, and the fact that they gave it away now in all 3 games is uber frustrating. And the question is, who is to blame, and what do we do? Where do we go from here? All right. Well, there's a lot of blame to go around. First off, so I've always prided myself on this channel by calling a spade, right, and trying not to give people preferential treatment one way or the other. And Kevin O'Connell, great dude. I love the culture that he and Kwesi are building, but there's a lot of issues with this team, and a lot of it has to do with sloppiness. A lot of it has to do with mental mistakes, and that comes down to coaching. That comes down to the coaching staff getting players prepared. Now, people say, well, the coaches aren't on the field, the players are. Well, it is the coach's job to get the players in the best frame of mind and get them in the best possible spot. And that comes down to play calling, that comes down to game planning, that comes down to mental preparation, that comes down to going over fundamentals and situational football in off-season training camp and in practice. And at the end of the day, that all lands on Kevin O'Connell's desk. And when Zimmer's teams were screwing up, both defensively and situationally, we called it out. And right now, the Vikings are very bad when it comes to situational football. And it's compounded even worse that Kevin O'Connell is making these game management mistakes when he's the offensive play caller. And we pointed out in the recap video, you had 1st and goal from the Chargers 3, 1st and goal from the Chargers 3, 1st and goal from the Chargers 6. You had 3 points. And it would have been 0 if Madison's fumble would have counted. So that's inexcusable, especially when Kirk is playing at a high level, especially when JJ is the best in the business, especially when Hockenson is top 3. And it all starts and ends offensively with the offensive line. Ed Ingram needs to sit his ass on the bench. And you can't go back and change the past, but they have failed Kirk Cousins on so many levels. They have. He's gonna end up being the most hit quarterback in the league again. And it's so easy for the fan base to just blame Kirk, because when things go wrong, just blame the quarterback, just blame the goofy dude making the most money. That's usually how it goes. But Kirk balled out again, and his effort is wasted because of this offensive line play, because they can't protect him, and they just keep trotting out Ed Ingram. And yeah, they signed Dalton Risner, but may it be too little too late. I mean, why didn't you sign Risner when he was here during training camp? Why didn't you sit Ed Ingram down at the first possible opportunity? If you're truly committed to getting your best 5 out there, that's we'll see. And again, who's to blame for that? Well, Kwesi and the scouting department for drafting Ed Ingram, Kevin O'Connell and offensive line coach Chris Cooper for continually to trot him out there, and all this lip service is oh, we're trying to just get the best 5 out there. Baloney, man. We'll see. Defensively, so I love Flores' aggressive approach, but as you've seen, respect to the Chargers' offensive line. The Vikings brought heat on half of Herbert's dropbacks again. They did a good job picking it up. And when your quarterback knows he's going to get blitzed and he gets the ball out quick, or the offensive line picks it up, it's bad news, man, because then they have numbers on the back end. And you saw how Keenan Allen, with 18 freaking catches and 200 plus yards receiving, just completely picked apart the Vikings secondary, because Flores was sending 5, he was sending 6, he was sending 7, and as soon as the offensive line picked it up or Herbert got the ball out quick, it was a wrap. It was. And this was just another one of those games where 475 yards of offense surrendered by Flores' defense. I mean, this was a Donachelle type game, but with more blitzing. And the fact that you got home once, I mean, it's just so frustrating, man. It is. But, the question is, where do they go from here? right? So I'm not on Team Tank. I will never be. I will always root for my team to win a ball game on a given day and make fans' days a little bit better. But got to face facts sometimes. The Vikings are allegedly 0-3, and if they fall to 0-4, they might have to have some tough conversations. And Justin Jefferson is all about winning. If the Vikings fall flat on their ass, or if they actually do tank, which I actually think would be so insulting to Justin Jefferson's prerogative, would he request a trade? Would Kirk Cousins, behind this horrifically bad offensive line, where he continually gets battered and beaten, even though he's putting up monster stats, getting the ball to JJ, putting up points on the board, but it's not enough, does he request a trade? Does he look into waiving his no trade clause? Does he go to the Jets? I don't know, man. This is a fascinating season, and it's a very frustrating one because you see the talent. The Vikings have tier 1 talent all over the place, but they just can't get out of their own way, and it's self-inflicted wounds. It's the fumbles, it's the turnovers, it's the lack of getting turnovers on defense. It's just so frustrating. And there's a lot of blame to go around. You can blame the players. You should definitely blame the coaches. You can blame Kwesi. You can blame everyone, right? But it's always a little tongue-in-cheek. It's always a little in jest. But is this the best 0-3 team in NFL history? They certainly might be, because they should have beat the Bucks. They should have beat the Eagles. And they certainly should have beat the Chargers. But the Vikings just find a way to Viking. And it's tough. It's tough, man. Again, I'll give this shirt one more shot because it's pretty damn sweet. But if they lose again, I promise you we will destroy this shirt in a creative way. We'll find out. But anyways, let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. Car rant. Skull, no production value.